Well, good morning. What a real treat today. STIHL. This is their traditional forest hatchet. Embroidered 1926, the date that the company started. Beautiful hatchet this is. Look at that sweeping bend on it. Each axe comes with an imprint, an identical identification number. A real traditional hatchet. Uses for bushcraft, we'll see. You know, STIHL makes some of the best forestry equipment on the market. You know, the biggest selling chainsaw on the market for sure. I like STIHL stuff. I've used it in the past. In fact, I had a pair of STIHL trousers that kind of just disintegrated over time when I was a youngster growing up on the estate. And I must get another pair at some point. They're brilliant. These hatchets, can they be used for bushcraft? But what I've got for you is a real trick. I'm going to show you kind of the history of STIHL when you look at that traditional kind of hatchet to a comparison of the modern day equivalent to their universal forest hatchet. And I think only STIHL as a company could kind of get away with doing this kind of, I don't know, time from the most modern materials that man can make, really, to using kind of the very traditional. And I've heard a lot of, I watched one review on it and it was like, all this hickory handle's no good. And there's a simple reason for that. It's an ash handle. Of course, ash was used in Europe for a lot of hand tools and still is. Hockey sticks and things like that. Ash is a beautiful wood, you know, and I can really see why they went for ash. The axe itself, you know, forged head, brilliant, beautiful, nice sweeping. It's a liming axe, you know. You can feel the weight and the balance of this axe is lovely. Yeah, beautiful. Look at the ash handle on it. There ain't many axe manufacturers now that'll use an ash handle, so it's great that STIHL stuck with tradition, you know. They've burnt their logo in there, STIHL. And I'll tell you what, it's beautiful, lovely for carving. It's, you know, it compares to any of the carpenter's axes I've got. Of course, to the modern day equivalent, you know, the fiberglass hollow handle, C60 coated steel, nail pull on it, you know, a splitter, a wedger, a liming axe, but also a small splitting axe for the forester if you need it, or for the bushcrafter on the campsite. And I reckon if they'd made that in OD green, this would have probably been one of the #1 selling axes for STIHL, because of the OD green, the modern day. It's lightweight. Both of these axes come in at under 1 kilo. Absolutely beautiful. So let's get a little bit of an intro music, and then we'll sit down and we'll talk more about STIHL and the history and what I found in the using of the axes. Hope you enjoy the video. Well, what can I say about these two hatchets? Well, what can you say? Let's just summarise, really. STIHL's, beautiful leather, you know, mask on there. But STIHL's 1926 forest hatchet, ash handle, lovely. This could have been finished, that needs to be finished, just so you can choke up on that, doing a bit of carving with, I think. I didn't find it uncomfortable, but I think I will just put sandpaper on that, make it more fit my hand, and I like that they've left that actually. You can kind of customise the axe a little bit. The blade, forged, beautiful. Look at my number there, that's my number. So EBB728, whoever forged that in Germany, because both of these axes are made in Germany, well done. This axe is being used in the UK, in Wales. So you've got some feedback of where your axe is at the moment. So for the maker, I hope he does get to see his axe. He probably won't, but it would be nice to know that somebody had passed on a message that this axe is being used in the UK, and it's being enjoyed. The patina I'm already starting to get on that, and I love that patina. Look at that patina starting to come on that axe there. And that's what I love about these traditional hatchets and axes, these forged axes. They boast a story. You know, every little patina that you start to get, you know, don't be in a rush to wipe them off and polish them out, leave them on there. They tell a story of how the axe is doing in your journey with it. The eye of the axe hadn't been treated. When I got the axe, the eye had not been treated with anything at all. That really surprised me. It's like, wow, STIHL, I thought you would have done that. I treated it, I used some oil on it, and I used some of my gun oil on it. I've always used gun oil, I've never had a problem. They did wax this and it is beautifully finished, but they left that untreated. That could lead to problems. So if you've got this axe, or you want to get this axe, or the next size up of this axe, check that that end's been treated with something. You don't want moisture getting in there. That can lead to all types of wonderful problems. So kind of eradicate them problems now by just doing that simple treat, you know, kind of over a couple of days. Absolutely beautiful. Burnt that in steel. It's fantastic. It's lovely fit and finish. The eye, it could have been pushed down a little bit more. I'm just nitpicking, and I'm not going to nitpick anymore with that axe because I absolutely love it. Hatchet. I've got to admit, when I picked this up, when I seen it, I was like, I am not gonna like this, and I'm not gonna lie, I am not gonna like this. And it quickly became apparent to me that this was not just a hatchet, it was a universal tool. You know, they call it their universal hatchet. I think this was a lot more than that. And all of a sudden, the more I used this tool, the more I could feel, I felt more comfortable with it. I felt this is probably what I'd grab if I needed a thing to go in my bug out bag or my survival bag, or I wanted to go to just the campsite and I didn't want to take my axe and worry about my good axes. I would just literally take this. This does it, you know. And then I started chopping with it and it was amazing. I didn't think with that wedge is ideal for splitting, and I can imagine getting my main axe stuck and using this to get it out of the tree as that wedge shaped. It was absolutely beautiful. Nail pull on it worked really well, and I showed that in the video. That's great, you know, I'm banging in tent pegs with that earlier on today. And this would be an ideal camping tool. I've got to say, it supersedes any hatchet or any kind of axe that you're ever going to have. If you go into a campsite or you need to split a bit of timber, this will always be that better tool. Low maintenance, a quick spray with some WD-40 to keep the rust at bay, although it is coated, which will prevent that rust. the hollow handle, meaning the weight's transferred straight to the head where you need it, and you can really tell that. A little flick of the wrist and you can feel the power all of a sudden being transferred straight down the shaft, straight into the head, and straight onto the chopping edge of the blade. You can feel it, and that was surprising. All of a sudden I was thinking, wow, this is such a clever balanced tool by leaving that hollow, and it's super strong fiberglass pomonine, I think it's called. They use strongest material, you know, one of the strongest handles known to man, you know, absolutely beautiful. It's all wrapped and coated. It's just a fantastic, once again, stamped made in Germany, and they should be proud of what they produce. They always produce good stuff in Germany. You can never take that away from them. Their quality is second to none. Absolutely fantastic. I did start liking this tool, you know. I was thinking, you know, that for a survival kit, you could end up making up a kit and putting it up there, a small fishing kit, and plunging it with a bit of a cotton wool or something like that. You know, this tool offers no limits to what you want it for. For splitting, chopping, it performed well. In the video I make a fire with it, you know, using a ferrocerium rod, and I wanted to just test that edge. You can see that edge took no damage at all there. In fact, that's just a bit of dirt. The edge took no damage at all when I used it on that ferrocerium rod. There wasn't even a chip or anything in sight. I wouldn't dare do that with my forged head that I've got. I'm sure that would start chipping out after a while, or start rolling the steel. On this, it didn't. This coated steel, premium steel, it just boasts modern materials of what it's capable of, and I really enjoyed starting to use this. And I think, and like I said, if they had made this in an OD green instead of the orange, I think then this probably would have been probably their biggest selling, you know, hatchet tool on the market. And I think because the orange will put a few people off, it'll put off the bushcrafters that are low key, and maybe the campers that are low key. And I think that in an OD green would all of a sudden change the whole aspect of this axe, hatchet, whatever. It is nice, you know, it's nice straight lines on it. It did perform really well. It's much more of a smaller cutting blade, and I just found that more controllable compared to the bigger cutting edge, something that I'm more used to. Would I buy that in a bigger version? Probably not for my needs. I think that would split wood all day long, you know, small logs for my wood burning stove, no problems at all. I think if you wanted, you know, big log split, then definitely you'd buy the bigger version of that. You can see the grooves you've got, you know, that'll chuck off wood so you're not damaging the handle in there. Look, they've literally thought of everything. And if anything else, for bushcraft projects, you know, you could bang that in and use it as a wedge if you needed to. Fantastic for that. My only criticism, again, sorry STIHL, is that it didn't actually come with a sheath. And to me, that was, I know they're trying to keep the cost down, but I think that with a sheath would have been really a much more of an appealing tool, and an OD green with a sheath. And I think all of a sudden you've literally got the ultimate kind of camping outdoorsman's tool, and I think probably every outdoorsman would carry that, you know, at some point. But it does come with this plastic insert that's, you know, obviously used for selling it. It's got to hang up in storage. You can cut that off, and then you've just got that protective thing for your bag, and because you wouldn't want to put that in your bag, or you could probably make yourself a sheath for it. But I think what I'll do is I'm just going to cut that off, and I'm just going to have that plastic insert. So that is kind of it from STIHL. That's their two hatchets. Once again, that's them in their former glory, if you like. Splitting rocks and all that with this has just been fun, and realistically, that's the type of thing that, you know, a universal hatchet or universal tool should be able to do, and that's what it can do. And that's the difference between modern and old, having one tool that can kind of add everything that you need. So yeah, a little update. There is going to be some shows I'm doing this year, so a few little bushcraft meets and gatherings. I'll probably doing one on knife talks and the correct usage of a knife. The other is an axe one, and the other one's kind of going to be a load of different workshops. Still working with a couple of campsites at the moment that want that done, and there's a couple of other dates, but I'll let you know more nearer the time. There will be some more shows that I'll be doing this year, and bushcraft demonstrations, probably around Wales, mid Wales and north. So I'll try and leave some dates, or just follow me on here, or and I'll try and put something there. So if you want to see any of these axes being used at any of them shows, let me know, and I'll make sure that I'm using them. I certainly will be using that, and if I can get the bigger size one, if I've got it by then, I'll certainly be using the bigger size axe in that style, because I think that's going to be a good axe to show, and show the correct different safety techniques to use, and some advanced techniques you can use with an axe that, you know, I think I've forgotten now. We tend to stick to the ones that are in the books, if you like, and you see them at the demonstrations and over the shoulder to split a bit of wood. But there is some other techniques that have been forgotten, and I'm going to bring them techniques back. I learnt them from an old woodsman many years ago, going back 30 years ago. So it'd be interesting to bring them back into play. Don't forget to check out the links in the description box below, and like I say, what a fantastic time. The 3-in-1 sharpener, I have got that. That's, you know, it is a good tool. I'm going to talk about that on a separate video, and because it's got its pluses and its bonuses, you know, plus and negatives, and I'm going to talk about that. It is a good tool. It will sharpen your axes. It will sharpen pretty well much anything you've got, but there'll be a separate video on that. So guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all on the next one. Stay safe, stay good. Once again, thanks to STIHL for allowing us to show you these two tools out in the field. And I don't think they was probably expecting me to be smashing rocks with them, but I just want you to know, STIHL, I've been smashing rocks with them all day, and they've stood the test of time. So thanks very much, and thank you guys for watching. I'll speak to you all on the next one. Be safe, be good, and keep bushcrafted.